I came to Western Norway to photograph an elopement. But I figured, since I was driving across several epic spots anyway, why not turn it into another great adventure? Hi there and welcome to Wander and Frame. If you're new here, hello, my name is Tanya and I'm a wedding and elopement photographer based in Norway. But this video isn't about the wedding itself. It is about how I squeeze adventure into every single work trip and how I combine working, traveling and adventuring around into one seamless flow. In this video, I'm gonna show you some scenic roads of Western Norway, some spectacular hikes and viewpoints, as well as some bloopers that happened to me along the way. Join in! My journey begins at Eggenipa, a mountain top of 1338 meters above sea level, towering above the village called Birkelu. The trail has existed for years. But the last couple of years, Sherpas from Nepal were working on building Sherpa stairs as a part of the trail, to make it safer for people to hike. It just so happened that I arrived to the area the night before the official opening of the new trail. I didn't really want to hike among crowds, so I packed my backpack with a tent and camping gear and hiked up halfway to the mountain top the night before. This is where I set up the camp for the night. The next morning, there would be official speeches and then mass hike to the top for those who want to join. I was aiming to start my ascent a few hours before the crowds, so I set up an early alarm and went to bed. The next morning, I literally woke up above the clouds, and when I saw what my camera captured during the night, I was so stoked. Good morning! It's 8 a.m. in the morning, and I'm starting my ascent towards the top. I was sleeping at 650 meters above sea level, and the mountain is 1338. So yeah, I'm halfway there. I offloaded my backpack and left my camp behind, so I'm gonna pick up my heavy stuff on the way back. But for now, it's just a little bit of food, some water, and my camera gear. Check it out. I bought this platform to carry my camera, so I'm gonna test it a little bit. But from what I heard, this mountain has a lot of kind of real climbing at the end, so most likely I'll just put my camera away when the difficult part starts. Anyway, I'm gonna hike uphill and I'm gonna save you for all my so yeah, see you at the top, I guess, or somewhere around, I don't know. Here in Norway, we use a website or an app called ut.no. It's a hiking app similar to all trails, where you can check the difficulty and the description of each trail. In my opinion, a lot of times these descriptions are quite off. But let's see how this one went. So I reached the top. It's definitely not a walk in the park. And when I read the description, it was saying very demanding tour, and I thought, like, you know, a lot of times they write demanding or very demanding, and then they are kind of medium, moderate difficulty. This one is definitely lives up to the description, so yeah, I managed to climb it up, and I have no clue how I'm gonna climb it down, because you are kind of supposed to do the round trip, like go down and then come back in a different, like you come back in the same location, but you do not go back in the same Sherpa stairs. But my tent is down there at this side, and I kind of have to go back there, and it's not an easy tour. I only recommend it to people who are avid hikers and have done some difficult hikes. Okay, I'm gonna head back before all the other people will start coming up. So yeah, wish me luck. Even though the trail was very challenging, I didn't find the view very rewarding. So to be honest, there are many more beautiful hikes here in Norway. In my humble opinion, value for money of Eggenipa is rather low. But maybe if I did the loop, I would get a better view, who knows? And in any case, that foggy view I got to witness during the night was so stunning, and it made this hike absolutely worth all the struggle. Ja, dere er fine. Hei! Ja! Hei! Oh my god, I came down. Finally. And I've got a bun, or what do you call it? And I've got a cup of coffee. And it started raining just when I arrived down to my car. Perfect timing. Another reward was to take off those heavy hiking boots and take a dip in the river running at the bottom of Eggenipa. I just showered in the river and it was awesome. It was so awesome. I've been checking some locations right here. That's actually the mountain I just hiked. It's just the other trail going up, and it's also the trail you can come down, which I didn't do that because I had my tent on the same side. So where was it? So I hiked up and then down up there somewhere, I don't know. Anyway, I found awesome locations. Most likely the elopement ceremony will be here, but I'm gonna go scout more. If I find something even more spectacular, I'm definitely, gonna tell the couple which one is best. But for now, this one is perfect. Well, as perfect as it gets, because we are a little bit limited on the distance between the parking lot and how much we can walk. Anyway, see you soon. Next destination, Aurland. This is one of the locations I'll be working at for the wedding day. But I arrived here early, not only to scout some locations, but also to have some fun on my own. This would be my first time kayaking alone, and I was very excited to see how I manage paddling alone and I was excited to see the Aurlandsfjord from the water perspective during the sunset. I paddled across the fjord to see a waterfall, and I actually wanted to continue kayaking, but it started getting darker and a bit more chilly. Plus, I wasn't wearing a dry suit, so I thought it was enough adventures for one day. After the kayaking tour, I went to the mountains, set up my camp for the night, and went to sleep under the open sky. The next morning was a glorious day, and after a breakfast I left my tent and my stuff where they were, and I went for another hike. This one is called Mount Prest, 1,478 meters above sea level, with a spectacular view over the Aurlandsfjord that is a part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site, West Norwegian fjords. At the top, I got a surprise when I met a herd of goats who at first glance seemed very friendly. And all they did was licking my sweaty, salty legs and my equally sweaty backpack. Me and the goats. Hello. So I figured maybe I should sit next to them while having my lunch. Little did I know, they fancy serrano and cheese sandwiches too, and the mother goat became more and more pushy, up to the moment where I had to throw my lunch at her and retreat as fast as I could. So I packed down all my stuff and I'm gonna walk to the car and then I'm heading to Aurland. Yeah, tomorrow is my official work day. So yeah, enough of this nomadic life for now, and let's be civil again for a little while. Over the next couple of days, I'll be working at an adventure elopement, traveling across a few awesome spots together with my couple. But I believe this story deserves a video on its own, especially since this one is getting really long already. Looking back at this trip, I don't think any of these adventures happened because I had lots of free time. Quite the opposite. I was here to work. Everything else happened in the small spaces in between. An evening in a tent somewhere in the mountains instead of staying in a hotel. A quiet paddle on a fjord before the next destination. A morning hike to explore new places, potential elopement locations for the future clients. A shower in the fjord to wash off the sweat and the saliva from the goats. Some office work every now and then when I have a chance. I'm realizing more and more that adventure doesn't have to wait for the perfect holiday or weeks off work. A luxury I haven't had in years, ever since I became a business owner. To me, adventure is about looking at the time you have available and asking yourself a question: what could I do with the next few hours? This is how most of my adventures happen. I no longer plan every moment months in advance. I simply stay open to whatever each place has to offer and try to make the most out of the time I am there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to like and leave a comment if you enjoyed this video, and consider subscribing if you are new here. I will see you soon in the next video. Until then, I gotta go back to work and edit the million photos I have taken so far. Bye!